With 15 seasons, it's not surprising that Supernatural had some inconsistencies in its own lore and sometimes broke its own timeline. Supernatural began in 2005 as a story following two brothers, Sam, Jared Padalecki, and Dean, Jensen Ackles, Winchester, as they traveled across the country hunting monsters. Initially, the series mostly consisted of standalone Monster of the Week Supernatural episodes, but Supernatural eventually developed a complex mythology of monsters, angels, and demons. As the mythology and lore of Supernatural got more complicated and its universe got bigger, there were bound to be some inconsistencies and minor plot holes. For the most part, Supernatural kept major contradictions to a minimum, and the show had enough going for it that minor discrepancies could ultimately be overlooked. Still, Supernatural reinvented itself more than once throughout its 15 seasons, and things like time travel, alternate universes, and heavenly interference made things complicated. 8. Demon lore changed throughout Supernatural's run. Saying Christo to identify demons only lasted one episode. In Supernatural's fourth episode, Phantom Traveler, Sam and Dean encounter a demon for the first time. As Sam and Dean research lore which investigating a series of recent plane crashes, Dean remarks that demonic possession is much bigger than their normal gig. Dean's comment is somewhat ironic, considering how many demons the brothers would face off against over the next 14 seasons, according to Phantom Traveler, saying, Christo, in the presence of a demon will make them flinch, but this piece of lore is mostly dropped after this episode. Sam and Dean eventually perform an exorcism, something they will do many times throughout Supernatural's first 5 seasons. However, they perform fewer exorcisms as the show progresses, resorting to killing the demons directly instead. 7. Vampires were extinct and werewolf bites have a cure? Monster lore shifted and changed throughout the show's run. Just as demon and angel lore changed throughout Supernatural's run, some of the show's monster lore changed as well. When shapeshifters were first introduced, for example, they had to gruesomely shed their skin to shift into a new form, but later shapeshifters could transform seamlessly. In the Season 1 episode, Dead Man's Blood, John Winchester, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, mentions that he believed vampires had been driven to extinction by hunters. Despite John's claim, vampires would pop up regularly throughout the show, and the Winchesters encounter hunters who specialize in vampires. Early in Supernatural's run, werewolf bites were said to be irreversible. However, when Claire Novak, Catherine Newton, is bitten in Season 12, it's revealed that the Men of Letters have an experimental cure that has never been mentioned before. Sam and Dean find themselves in trouble with law enforcement, from local cops to the FBI, several times throughout Supernatural's 15-season run. Sam and Dean were taken into custody on more than one occasion, meaning their fingerprints and real identities are presumably on file. This raises the question of how the Winchester brothers continue to do what they do, which often includes impersonating police officers and FBI agents, without attracting attention. After a few minor run-ins with law enforcement over the years, the Season 12 episode, First Blood, finally referenced the Winchesters' criminal past, when they were taken into custody for attempting to assassinate the President of the United States, who was being possessed by Lucifer at the time. They escaped, again, but Supernatural never fully explains why more law enforcement officers don't recognize them. 5. The trickster is the Archangel Gabriel and Chuck is God. Both of these reveals worked well even in hindsight. The trickster, Richard Speight Jr., made his debut in Supernatural Season 2's Tall Tales, as what Bobby, Jim Beaver, the rise to be a trickster demigod. Although Dean appears to kill the trickster, he returns the following season in the iconic Mystery Spot, which remains one of Supernatural's funniest episodes. After angels become part of Supernatural's mythology at the start of the 4th season, the trickster is eventually revealed to be the Archangel Gabriel. Chuck Shirley, Rob Benedict, first appeared in Supernatural's 4th season as the author of a series of books following the adventures of Sam and Dean Winchester. Chuck claims the stories of Sam and Dean came to him in dreams, making him a prophet. However, the Season 11 episode, Don't Call Me Shirley, reveals that Chuck Shirley is actually God himself, something many fans had speculated since the end of Season 5. 4. Supernatural shattered the fourth wall in The French Mistake. Supernatural went meta with the genre-bending Season 6 episode. Throughout its 15-season run, Supernatural played with its own formula in fascinating, and often hilarious, ways. Sometimes, the show went fully meta, bringing the viewers in on the joke. In Season 4, for example, Sam and Dean discovered that a series of novels existed that depicted their lives as if they were fiction. These books developed a cult following, eventually leading to a convention and even a school play. Supernatural did not truly break the fourth wall until the Season 6 episode, The French Mistake. In this episode, Sam and Dean find themselves in a reality where they are actors named Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles who star in a television show called Supernatural. Watching the real Jared and Jensen portray fictionalized versions of themselves is truly hilarious, and The French Mistake contains numerous references to people who actually work on the show. 3. Supernatural unsank the Titanic and killed Hitler. Also, Samuel Colt and Elliot Ness were monster hunters. In the Season 6 episode, My Heart Will Go On, Castile, Misha Collins, sends an angel back in time to unsink the Titanic to create more souls to fuel his side in the angelic civil war, although he later reverses this. In a later Season 6 episode, Frontierland, the Winchesters encounter Samuel Colt, Sam Hennings, who turns out to be a monster hunter who crafted a gun that could kill almost any supernatural being. Season 7's Time After Time revealed that Prohibition agent Elliot Ness, Nicholas Lee, was also a hunter. Several seasons later, in the Season 12 episode, The One You've Been Waiting For, the Winchesters encounter a group of necromancers who resurrect Hitler in the body of their leader, before Dean gets to kill him. Supernatural had a lot of fun reimagining real historical figures and events in the context of a world filled with supernatural beings. Supernatural brought Mary Winchester back from the dead. Mary Winchester's death set off the entire series. As seen in Supernatural's pilot episode, the death of Mary Winchester, Samantha Smith, was the catalyst for nearly everything that happened to the Winchesters. It was her death that prompted John Winchester to begin his search for the yellow-eyed demon, Azazel, Frederick Lane, who had killed her. John's quest consumed him, and he introduced both Sam and Dean to the world of monster hunting at a very young age. When Amora, Emily Swallow, resurrected Mary Winchester at the end of Supernatural Season 11, it shook up the dynamic of the show. As Sam was a baby when Mary was killed, he had no memory of his mother, but Dean had to confront the fact that the woman who returned was not exactly